So I've got some pictures which we're going to have a bit of a chat about. So we've got this first picture here, which is of Tom. So tell us a little bit about this picture then, Tom.
So I've only just seen this picture, but I do know, because this is a favourite picture of mine, this is but my first Burley in 2018, and I've just finished the cross country, and although the adrenaline rush is indescribable, I was actually really cross because I was a bit slower than I wanted to be, so I was...
But you jumped a clear round?
I jumped a clear round, and the adrenaline was immense, but I was probably...
So he looks grumpy.
I was probably moaning to my mum, who is the lady just there in the pink and purple shirt.
So your team is here.
Yeah, so it's an amazing picture because the whole team is there, and although I joke about being cross about the time, I've had this horse at this stage for probably 7 years, and you can't describe the gratitude and the feeling of pride you have in your horse. And you know, for those 12 minutes, he's put literally every single thing he's got into that course, and he'd be a slightly thicker set horse, so to get out around those hills. So although I say I'd like to have been quicker, like the insane appreciation you have and pride you have in your horse at the moment is huge.
Did you find that he struggled more with Burley than badminton? Because the terrain does make such a difference.
I don't actually think with him. I've learnt with him, he's probably a bit one pace, so he wouldn't, you know, he doesn't have a massive top cruising speed, but he is pretty relentless in the fact that he doesn't really want to get tired. He'll keep going at his pace, and he probably does at about the 8-9 minute mark. So at Burley, the 8 minute mark was up the really steep hill to Winners Avenue. That's when he kind of gets a bit tired. He did the same at badminton, and then once he's got into the 9th minute, he's found his wind and he's got going again. So it's kind of knowing him and how he works. But going back to the picture as well, so you know, my parents there. I've got you can't quite see him, but you can just see her jeans. Doris Churchley, who's a great mate of mine, who's groomed for that particular horse at every single event that he's done. And one of his owners, Venetia Chamberlain, is there at the front as well as my parents. So it's just a really nice picture because it shows the teamwork, and they're pulling off his boots. And I mean, literally, I must have just jumped off 10 seconds before because we've not even got the saddle at that point.
You look pretty good then.
You can see my dad pulling the saddle off there. So it's a cool picture, and for all that we spoke about nerves of not wanting to get on and not wanting to go. It's actually a drug. I do think adrenaline is a drug because it's quite a high afterwards.
Because I've had it loads of times. Yeah. I've been in the warm up thinking, I'm really, really nervous right now. Do you know what? I don't think I can do this again. Yeah. This is the last time I'm doing it.
That's the crazy thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you go through the finish and like, I can't wait till next time.
Yeah, and then you start entering as soon as you get back. You enter your next event. Yeah. And I did that once at Houghton. It was that wet year, that really wet year, and I was warming up. And there was a bit of leather, which on my foot was slipping, and I just, I thought, why am I, you know, the danger of the sport, and then at the end, you know, the adrenaline, and then entering the next event, and didn't think about, you know, sometimes you.
And I'm like, oh no, I want to go around again. I want to have 2 horses. I want to have 4 horses at Burley. Yeah.
I want to go faster.
I won't take so many pulls next time. I promise.
I said that twice. Every time, and I still do it. And so moving on to our next picture, and this is of Stacey. So tell us a bit about this picture then, Stacey.
So yeah, that was when Orion's Promise was at Burley. It was probably, I mean, it's a lovely photo of him. I think it's the first time we've actually seen the picture today. I think it's a stunning one. You know, it just shows the character, and he's not always the easiest to trot up though. I must admit, it's the one phase I probably was dreading. Going to Burley was the trot up, because he can trot up at home perfectly, and he can be quite naughty in his trot ups. So sometimes being lazy, and then on the way back to the lorry park, he was prancing and absolutely wild and looking amazing. And then you bring him to the trot up, and he's like a donkey, and you can't get behind him because then he'll nap. And I just think, you know, so that was actually the part where I was the most worried about, and was trotting him up, because he can be at Ballindennis as well. He did a few trot ups. You know, they've made me trot up twice just to get him going. And if you have somebody behind him, just a little flap, then he's fine. But trying to do it yourself, then he's a bit of a cheeky monkey.
You're amazingly coordinated in your outfits to another. You're almost matching if you look at the colour on his flank.
How do you choose your outfit? Does someone choose it for you? Is it something you have to pick out yourself?
Well, Mother's a big help as well. She's often my clothes designer. Yeah, she comes in very useful because I'm not great at that side. So no, it's nice to have a personal shopper for me. But yeah, I think it's a big thing, isn't it?
Is that a bracelet or a wristband?
That's the wristband.
What, it's like matching your outfit and everything. That's
I
pretty
think
impressive.
I didn't really think about that. So
It's true.
It is a big, and lots of people go just to spectate as well. I have owners who, even without me having a horse running there, then they go up for trot-up days and they enjoy watching the outfits.
It's amazing how busy it is and how enthusiastic.
Yeah, people will arrive just to see the horses trot up. But yeah, so it's... And actually, on the way back, I didn't know if I was going to hold him. I couldn't keep hold. It was a long walk as well. Yeah, it was a long walk back. But yeah, he did trot like a snail down. I couldn't get him to move.
I have ridden down to the trot up before, worrying about not being able to keep
yeah, because I couldn't actually. That's another thing to get there. I thought I was going to miss my slot, my time, because I couldn't get him down to there because he was misbehaving. But yeah, the joys of horses.
So moving on to our next picture, and it's Gracie.
Yeah.
So Gracie, tell us a little bit about this picture and what this means to you.
Well, first of all, I feel a bit insignificant now compared to you guys after seeing all your
It's a
photos.
beautiful picture. You look at an amazing position.
Thank you very much. It was first of an angled log, so I came in at quite an angle. But it was my first event from this year, and funnily enough, after that event, I did a post on my Instagram. I was like, wow, I'm so excited for this year ahead. Like, we're going to have such a good time. Like, I can't wait to get on with the event season. Like, a month to go. And then she went lame the next day. And I was like, I was like, maybe that should teach me never to, like, post about that kind of thing. So that was a bit of a annoying day, but she's fine now.
And you've got a Wilbury on.
Yeah, I got that when I went to Chatsworth, and I got a Wilbury there. And I always try and wear it, because people always ask me, like, what is that? And why have you got a teddy bear on your shoulders? And it's really nice to be able to use, like, the large platform to promote that Wilbury kind of thing. So
just explain to
yeah, well, it's a
guys what
charity set up by Hannah Francis. It's like to help cancer research, and yeah, Hannah had sadly passed away from cancer, so people wear it in memory of her. It's a really lovely charity, and really I do recommend you guys go check it out.
Does your Wilbury Wonder Pony have a name?
He's called Kingberry because when I had him, I had a pony called Prince and then King, and also the pony that started my whole account is called Danny, and everyone kind of refers to him as like the king. So we kind of did it in like memory of him, I guess, because he's awesome.
Brilliant.
Well, guys, thank you very much for chatting, and yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed it.